Robbie here. Welcome to my channel. Today, magtatakal po tayo ng kung paano mag-process ng K1 visa at kung ano yung mga kailangan. Pinasimplify ko na po to, pero yung uuna i-share ko po ay yung mga kailangan po. Some of it kailangan din sa interview at ahead of time masabi ko po or ma-share ko po sa inyo kung anong mga kailangan. So, disclaimer lang po, ako, okay? At photocopies lang naman yung hinihingi doon. Yung tickets or itineraries, yung boarding passes, yung hotel receipts kung kayo nagkita or nagstay sa hotel. Kung hindi kayo sa hotel, it's okay. It's fine. Tapos, yung pictures nyo na magkita kayo, na magkasama kayo, kasama yung family mo or family ng petitioner, or basta magkasama kayo, yung proof na nagkita talaga kayo within 2 years. For example, nagkita kayo 2019, tapos nag-file kayo 2023 ng gusto nyo mag-file na ng fiancé visa. Sorry, hindi yun pasok sa 2 years. Kailangan within 2 years nagkita kayo bago kayo mag-file ng K1 fiancé visa. Next, kailangan din ng intent letter to marry the beneficiary. Okay? At mamaya ipapakita ko sa inyo, i-guide ko kayo kung paano gumawa ng letter na yaon. Next, kung si petitioner ay dating ikinasal or divorce siya or widow siya, kailangan din ng proof ng ganon. Okay? Kailangan yun. Hindi naman original ang na paper ang kailangan. Photocopies lang. Next, 2x2 photograph or ito yung picture. Okay? 2x2. Sa US, ang size nito ay US passport size. Sa Philippines, ang passport size ay maliit, so kailangan ay 2x2 picture. Okay, kailangan white background, all ears out, no glasses, neutral face. Okay. Next, if you have been convicted, if the petitioner, okay, convicted before, provide conviction record from the court. Copies lang, okay? Only copies only. Kung hindi naman siya na-convict, it's fine. No need to problemahin pa yan, okay? Next, kailangan may payment yun, yung pag-file ng fiancé visa. May yung K1 na application, meron siyang bayad worth $535 na payable sa US Department of Homeland Security. Pwedeng gamitin check or personal check, postal money order, or cashier's check. Pwede yun. So, ang galing naman ka beneficiary need ay 2x2 pictures. As I said before, ang 2x2 pictures, hindi siya Philippine passport size. Iba yon. Kailangan 2x2 pictures. Tapos, bumalik tayo. Yan. Then, also, if annulled si beneficiary or widow, i-include natin yan. Next ay ito. If only if lang naman si beneficiary ay nag-work sa ibang bansa or nagstay doon sa ibang bansa more than 6 months or exactly 6 months, kailangan niyang kumuha ng police clearance or police certificate. Kailangan niya on. Unless kung siya ay nag-abroad or nagstay o tumira sa Saudi Arabia at umalis na doon, hindi na kailangan yun. Understandable na po yun. Kasi ang Kingdom of Saudi Arabia hindi na nagbibigay ng police clearance or police certificate once nag-exit ka na sa bansa. Okay? Marami akong okay. Let's move on. Then, you need also beneficiary na magkaroon ng intent letter to marry the petitioner. As I said before, tuturuan ko kayo mamaya lang sa end ng aking almost end ng aking video. Okay? Kaya hang on lang kayo dyan. Then, additional, ito yung pinakaunang importante din sa initial filing. Ang cover letter, kailangan to. And I will guide you and give you a sample sa cover letter. Very simple na cover letter. Next ay G1145, e-notification of application or petition. Kailangan din ito, okay? I will guide you kung ano yung mukha noon. And I will link below this video sa description box mamaya na yung mga link na kailangan sa government form. Like this one, G1145, I will link that one also. And the same time, ang form na ito na may 13 pages na dapat i-fill out. And I will guide you also mamaya kung paano siya i-perform or paano siya i-fill out. At I will include also the link para po kayo magkaroon ng ganito, ng form. And next, explanation of meeting or short story, how you met. In short love story na explanation nyo kung paano kayo nag-met hanggang nag-decide kayo na magkaroon ng mag-file ng K1 visa or K1 visa application. Next, ito ay kung saan natin isi-send ang packet na yun. Packet ang tawag doon sa compilation na yun ng initial filing noon. So, if you choose, pag pinili nyo yung postal service, ito yung address na gagamitin. Or, pag pinili nyo yung FedEx, UPS, or DHL, ito naman yung ilalagay nyo na address. Okay? Next ay sample letter. Ito yung cover letter rather na i-guide ko. As I said before, kung gagamitin nyo ay USPS, dito nyo yan ilalagay. Kung gagamitin nyo ay FedEx, UPS, or DHL, yung gagamitin na address ay ito din. Okay? So, I write here kung gagamitin ay USPS or Postal Service or Postal Office. Ito yun. Ito yung nilagay ko dito. Pero bago yan, kailangan natin ilagay yung full name ni petitioner, a complete address of the petitioner, petitioner's email address, and also petitioner's phone number. Then of course, the date kung kailan nyo to tinype o kailan nyo to ginawa yung cover letter. And then you should next put the nature of the submission, I-129F, original submission. Then, dear sir / ma'am or madam. And then enclose, find my form 129F petition for my fiancé. Okay, klaro yan ha. Klaro yan na name of beneficiary. Ni-highlight ko yan. Nilagyan ko pa ng open and close parenthesis para makita agad. And next, comma, and following supporting documents. First, kailangan ng actually ito yung pagkakasunod-sunod, gawin nyo din yan kung paano kayo mag-compile para hindi mahirapan yung USCIS agent. Una, pwede gamitin yung check, personal check, cashier's check, or postal money order. I will guide you kung anong mukha nun mamaya at the end. So, payment is $535. Excuse me. And also, G1145 e-notification of application petition to acceptance. Next is I-129F supplement, page 8, part 2, question 54, explanation of meeting. I-guide ko kayo mamaya niyan. Tapos yung dalawang 2x2 pictures ni petitioner and ni beneficiary. So please make sure na lagyan ng pangalan ang both pictures ni petitioner at ni beneficiary. In case na malaglag ni USCIS agent, alam niya kung kanino yung picture na yaon, di ba? Tsaka next ay passport ni petitioner. Ano lang naman yun, biographic lang naman yun, yung photocopy ng front ng yung may mukha niya at information. In the same time, divorce decree if and only if the petitioner or sponsor was married before or was married before, okay? And also letter from sponsor or petitioner pertaining that you're certifying to intent to marry the beneficiary. The same time, also kay beneficiary, ganun din. I will tackle that mamaya. So, tapos yung mga proof na sinabi ko kanina, mga pictures together, yung passport, ticket, yung boarding pass, any proof na nakita kayo sa 2 years, within the 2 years. Basta nakita kayo. It doesn't matter kung once na kayo nakita, twice, thrice, it's fine. As much may proof na nakita kayo within 2 years. So your copies of documents are exact photocopies, and I understand I may need to submit original documents to an immigrant consular officer later at a time. So, as I said, copy lang yan ninyo. Tapos, sincerely, signature, complete name muna ni petitioner and signature niya. Okay? Next, payment that we can use or you can use. So, petitioner can use personal check, cashier's check, or USPS, postal money order. Anong mukha nun? What it looks like? Ang personal check, if your petitioner have a personal check, he knows what is this. The only thing he needs to know is where pay to the order of. Ito, US Department of Homeland Security. Ito yung dapat niyang isulat. Not abbreviate. Don't abbreviate that one. Tapos, mali ako dito sa pagsulat. So, sorry for that. Pero, $535 ang isulat dito. Yan yung amount. And then, ang memo dito, I-129F. Tapos, signature and name naman ng petitioner. Ito naman yung cashier's check. Pero yung cashier's check, hindi lang sila same talaga. May iba-ibang cashier's check na pagmumukha. Ganito siya yung iba. So, yan. So, most important naman na information na alam nila is yung amount, kung magkano, and then kung saan i-address or saan ibabayad. US Department of Homeland Security. Yan lang naman. Tsaka yung memo, I-129F fee. Yun lang naman. Yan to naman another sample. And next is the postal money order. If you want to use that one, ito naman siya yung pagmumukha nito. Yung sa taas nito, maliit lang to siya. Nire-remove lang to siya kasi receipt na to ng customer. So, ilalagay dito ay pay to, as I said, US Homeland of Security Office, or security rather. Tapos yung address, kunin nyo lang doon sa kanina, yung kung saan nyo isi-send o yung address, tsaka dito. Ito yung ilalagay along with your packet or ibabayad or isi-send sa USCIS. Tapos, don't forget the petitioner's name and address, tapos yung memo, I-129F. That's it. And just a reminder, as I said before, I know nasabi ko na ito kanina, yung 2x2 picture size in the Philippines. Sa dito naman sa US, ang size is US passport size. Pero actually, same size lang yan sila. Pero ang tawag dito ay US passport size. Yung sa Philippines naman, iba kasi yung yung passport size, mas maliit siya. Kaya mas prefer na 2x2 picture kasi magkasing same sila ng size ng US passport size dito. And another reminder, make sure you write your full name at the back of your each pictures. Okay? 2x2 pictures. Ito na yung intent letter. How to make that intent letter, and kasi paano ba ito maglalagay? Nako naman po, napakasimple lang po. Kapihin nyo na, screenshot nyo na, edit nyo na ito. Napakasimple lang po. Okay, paano gagawin? Kay petitioner muna to. First, ay pangalan buo ni petitioner. Pangalawa, yung complete address niya. Next, syempre kung ano yung ginamit nyo sa cover letter or ganun din yung gagamitin dito sa letter of intent. Okay? So, yung dito, ginamit niya ay DHL or UPS or FedEx. So, ito yung sinulat niya dito. So, next ay date, then dear sir or madam, then I make sure to write the name of the petitioners. Okay? Petitioner's name, do hereby state that I am legally able and willing to marry. Tapos name, the name of the beneficiaries, dapat full name, and intend to do so within 90 days of her arrival into the United States using K1 visa. Then yours truly, sorry hindi ko ito nilagay dito, dapat may, and then full name of the petitioner and then signature. Okay? So let's go to the sample for the beneficiary. So ganun din. Beneficiary's name, beneficiary's complete address, and then yung address ng USCIS, kung ano yung gagamitin dito, okay? Kung gagamitin nyo, same sa postal as a cover letter na address. Next is the date, and then ito, as a respecto. Tapos tapos yung pangalan ni beneficiary, do hereby state that I am legally able and willing to marry, name of the petitioner, and intend to do so within 90 days of my arrival into the United States using the K1 visa. Yours truly, and then yung full name ni beneficiary, at saka yung signature niya. Make sure to put address also after that signature. But it's fine. Next po ay papakita ko sa inyo kung ang ano yung saan ba to? Ano dito? Ito muna, G1145. Okay, make it big so that it'll nice. Okay. Zoom natin para makita natin, di ba? So, ito yung pagmumukha niya. Anyway, I will link below yung form J1145. So, para mabilis po kayo hindi na kayo maghahanap kung saan ba, tama ba, di ba? So, ito yan. Basahin nyo na kung gusto nyo basahin. Pero ang pinaka-importante dito sa baba, ilagay yung name ni petitioner. So, halimbawa, name ni petitioner ay last name niya ay Smith. Lagay nyo dan. Tapos, applicant. First name niya, John. Tapos, halimbawa yung middle name niya ay Michael. Tapos, email address niya. Gagawa-gawa na lang ako kasi hindi ko naman talaga to. Smith. Yan. Okay, then next mobile number niya. Yan lang. Yan lang siya kasimple. Tapos, i-print out nyo lang to siya. Yan na yung ilagay nyo to sa pag-compile after the after ng cover letter. So, yan lang siya. Simple lang siya. Next natin ay ito. I-929F. Ito, 13 pages to siya eh. Ano natin to? Okay. Lakihan ko na siya para alam nyo na. Make sure na ang expiration date, okay, ang expiration date hindi pa expire. Para hindi yan maibalik sa inyo. So, yan. Huwag nyo susulatan dito kasi hindi naman natin alam yan. So, ito information about you. Sa information to ng ng petitioner. So, halimbawa, hindi siya talaga born in US siya. So, wala siyang alien registration, wala siyang, kung first time niya lang na mag-apply dito, okay? Tapos, make sure talaga na ilagay ang social security number ni petitioner. Halimbawa, yan. 9 numbers lang naman yan. So, click natin to. Kasi fiancé visa naman talaga yung ating ina-applyan. Next, full name ni petitioner. Next, taas pa. Kung may mini-use siya, halimbawa yung may addition of name. Kung ang petitioner ay babae at dating kasal, dito niya ilalagay yung name. Pero kung petitioner niya lalaki, okay lang. Skip nyo lang yan. Tapos, in care of name, syempre, name niya. Tapos, halimbawa, yung address niya ay Lane Corner or Lane Street. Let's say Lane Street para city. Halimbawa lang naman to. Hindi ko po alam kung saan ko to pinamulot na mga word name address. Gawin natin New York. Sana yung N. Gawin na lang natin, ano ba? New Jersey na lang. Okay. Tapos, USA. Gawin natin yes kung yun yung physical address mo. So, if you answered no, provide your physical address in items 9A. So, ipoprovide mo dito kung hindi same. Pero kung same lang naman, kung hindi same, lagay mo dito. Diba? Pero pwede mo rin ilagay mo dito yung street address mo. Nasa sa inyo na yan. So, ano yun? Kung nakatira sa apartment, click nyo dito. Kung hindi naman nakatira sa apartment, kung bahay niya talaga, so, yun. So, kung bahay niya talaga, skip nyo na lang dito. New Jersey, okay. Halimbawa, January 1. Kung physical address niya is since 2020 lang siya nag-stay dyan. So, yun lang. Tapos, ito naman, extra kung saan siya pinanganak or saan siya ng mga address dati. Halimbawa, 1, 2, 3 ulit. No? Sunrise. Sabihin natin New Jersey pa din. Tapos, halimbawa, pinanganak siya January 1, 1990. Bawa lang naman. Tapos, bawa lang yan. So, next, kung ano, employment niya, kung ano, saan siya nag-work. Halimbawa, sabihin na natin, Amazon. Dapat full name of employer. So, or company. So, hindi ko alam kung anong complete name ng Amazon. Kung nag-work ka sa Amazon. So, yun. Halimbawa, address. Morningside. Trail. Wala po ng mga gawin na natin. Newark. New Jersey. Halimbawa lang yan. So, yun. Address kung saan siya nag-work. Halimbawa, ano siya? Engineer. So, employment status niya. Nag-start siya, for example, January 1 pa din. Mahilig ako sa January 1. 2005, let's say. So, present. Wait. Yun. Tapos, kung may another employer pa siya, before nito, so, dati niyang work, pwede nyo ilagay dyan. Kung wala, skip nyo lang. Yun. Extension to ha, dito, kung sa dati niyang work. Next, information, your male, birthday mo, halimbawa, January 1 ka pa din. 1990 ka. Single, make sure na single nilagay mo dito. Tapos, village, Platteville, province, state of birth, let's say, USA. Ay, province pala, state. So, let's say, New Jersey. Okay, tapos, USA. And then, information about the petitioner's parents. So, let's say, Smith, Jonas, Michael, January 1. January sila lahat. January 2 na lang natin. 1970. Male. Kung saan birth yung tatay niya pinanganak, sabihin na natin hindi na taon. Next, sa taas, ito naman information ng nanay. So, let's say, Smith. Loida. January 3 naman. Medyo sasakit ng lamunan ko, pero sana na susubaybay nyo dito. Oops, gawin na natin Farmington. Tama. So, kung have you ever been previously married, kung ikay kinasal, gawin mong yes, tapos yung information ng dating asawa, pero kung wala, single ka naman, hindi ka kinasal, o dyan. That's about the petitioner, okay? Next. You are a citizen through select only one box. So, if you're born here, you put yes. Next. Kung nakapag-file ka, if the petitioner filed before an I-129F, he or she needs to put yes here and also the information. If it's no, just click no. As simple as that. Then leave it all. Leave it blank. So here, if you have any children below or under 18 years of age, you need to say yes here and then provide their ages. But if your kids or of the petitioner are above 18 years old, you said just put no. So yeah, if the petitioner resides sa ibang bansa, ganun lagay mo dyan. And also here, information about your beneficiary. So name of the beneficiary, let's say Aquino. Maria. Let's say Lopez. So, ilangin dyan. Wala naman siyang social security kasi K1 fiancé visa siya. So, female, if she's a woman, the beneficiary if a woman. If it's male, so click male. Yeah, this is important. Dapat single. Or widow or divorce. Okay? Tapos, city or town, let's say, Manila. Then, Philippines. Next, other names. Kung may alias. Yep. And the next, page 5. Okay, information about your beneficiary. So, let's say, saan yung Maria? Ano yung last name niya? Okay. Lopez. Aquino. Sample lang ha. It's just a sample. It's not a real person. If it's someone same name with this, I'm sorry. It's just, that's one only na nag-pop up sa utak ko. Pero hindi ko po kayo kilala. So, gawin natin Purok Star Barangay Amihan. So, sample lang yan. City. Wala namang ganyan sa Manila. Kaya lang, gawa-gawa ko lang. For just an example. Province. Metro Manila. NCR ba? I'm not sure kung ganyan dan. Baka NCR yan dito. Hindi ko lang sure sa Maynila. So, yep. Hindi naman talaga ako Maynila eh. Hindi ako taga Maynila. Kaya. So, physical address, yun. Pag same pa din. So, yep. Copy na lang natin. Purok Star. Let's see, just for a sample. So next, kung may physical address pa siyang iba, just put it here. If not, it's fine. So if the beneficiary have work, let's put it there. But if not, it's okay. If it's unemployed, put unemployed. Okay, only that. Pag lagyan nyo nito NA pag kayo masipag. Kung wala, okay lang din. Lagay natin. Ngayon, June. June 17, 2023. Ay. Lagay natin. Mula January 6 until June 17, 2023. Okay, just a sample. If you have another employer before, just like kung siya cashier, whatever, how you pronounce that word, lagay natin, Mall of Asia. gawin natin boutique. Lala's boutique. Sandwich. Hindi ko na, gutom na yata ako kaya sandwich yung sinabi. Sandwich Street. City. Manila. Philippines. Gawin natin manager. January 1 pa din. January 3 natin gawin yan. Ang haba ng work ni ate, oh. Gawin natin 15 yan dyan. Next, information na parents ng beneficiary. Okay. Tatay niya, Aquino pala. Aquino. Raul. Gawin natin C. Halimbawa lang naman. Mahilig ako sa 1 kasi 1 na lang lahat. Philippines. Manila. Next, akit tayo. Information naman ng nanay ng beneficiary. So, let's see. Siyempre, Aquino na siya eh. Pero pwede rin gawin yung last, maiden name. Pero wala naman nakalagay na maiden name. So, married name yung lagay nyo. Loida. Ay, ano ba? Mary. Lopez pa yung last name niya. Okay. Next, birthday niya. Gawin natin February. Philippines. Charot. Gawin natin Manila din. Huwag na natin pahirapan yung sample. Kung saan nakatira. Philippines. Okay. So, has your beneficiary ever been previously married? If she lang naman, if she was married, so they put yes, and then information kung sino yung asawa or what is the name of the previous husband or wife of the beneficiary. If it's no, then skip it. Has beneficiary ever been in United States? If yes, put it here, and then there will be informations that you're gonna provide here. If there's not, if she's not been in the US, so put no. Then skip it all. The next, does your beneficiary, passport pa pala, halimbawa. Tama ba? Tama yata. Okay. Halimbawa, Manila din. Manila. What's expiration date for the passport? Let's say January 1, 2030. Kung may anak yung beneficiary, put yes, and then the information of the kids. And if it's no, put it no. Let's say there's no kid. Okay. Information still of the kid if may mga anak. If the beneficiary have child or children, put it here, and then the information if the child reside on you or not, you still put the information or the address. Yep. So the address where the beneficiary intend to live, of course, the address of the petitioner. So nakalimutan ko. No, uy, naku, day. Nakalimutan, day. Yung bang nag-ano lang tayo, gagawa ng address. Hindi ko alam. Okay, Plattfield. Yung number. 123 Lane Street. Okay. Balik tayo sa baba. Sana hindi kayo nalito. Okay. Ito na ba yun? O, tama. Okay. 123 Lane Street. Next. Oops. Okay. City. New Jersey. Sample lang naman yan. Number din ni data and telephone numbers sa address na yan. So, just put the phone number of your fiancé or the petitioner. So, physical address. Rockstar ba yun? Basta kung anong address niya dito. Hindi pala to. Mali. Beneficiary's physical address abroad. Okay. Ayun, yung address niya nga sa Maynila. Gawin na natin. Rockstar. Kalimutan ko sa taas. Basta yun yan. Barangay Amihan. Kalimutan ko anong address doon. Kanina nilagay ko. So, Manila. Okay, postal code. So, Metro Manila. I'm not sure kung Metro Manila talaga yung pag sa province. Or baka NCR. Ang arte ko naman. NCR. Postal code. Ano natin? Ay, 4 lang pala sa atin. Sa Philippines. Philippines! 1, 2, 3. Ay. Ano yun? Plus 3. 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uy, mali. 6, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yun. 6. Yan. Halimbawa lang naman yan. Kung yan, wala naman tayong ibang panunulat. Parang English lang din yung panunulat ng alphabet. So, it's okay. Skip that one. So, is your fiancé related to you? If it's yes, you're gonna indicate here that if it's first cousin, second cousin, like that. So, we need to put no. So, have you and your fiancé met in person during the 2 years immediately before the filing this? Yes, mag-yes ka. Tapos ito, lagyan mo dito, nilagay ko na yan, C supplement, I-129 explanation of meeting. Kasi yung short love story mo, i-attach mo dito after ng 13 pages na to. So, did you meet your beneficiary through a service of an IMBRA? No. Mag-no kayo dyan. Yes. Kasi, ma'am, hindi yan pwede dyan. So, your beneficiary will apply for a visa abroad the U.S. Embassy or your consulate at where? Lagay mo Manila. Philippines. Philippines. Charot. Mali-mali yung spelling ko. Okay, here. Criminal offense, have you ever been subject to temporary permanent protection restraining order? No. No. Kung mag-yes kayo dyan, kung may crime kayong ginawa. Okay? If the petitioner did something, a crime before, then you need to provide a proof on that. No. Homicide, murder, manslaughter, rape, abusive sexual contact, sexual exploitation, incest, torture, trafficking, peonage, I don't know how you pronounce that, holding hostage, involuntary servitude, slave trade, kidnapping, abduction, unlawful criminal restraint, false imprisonment, or attempt to commit any of these crimes. If you need to put yes, we need to be honest to the USCIS. Yeah. Tapos 3 or more arrests or conviction not from single act for crimes relating to controlled substance or alcohol. You need to answer yes or no here. So next, I was acting in self-defense. If there's crime, you need to be honest here, because if you don't, the USA still can know. So I was acting defense. If there's nothing here, you don't need to click. So yep. Have you ever been arrested, cited, charged, indicted, convicted, fined, or imprisoned for breaking or violating any law or ordinance in any country, excluding traffic violations? If no, lagay mo no. Lagay natin no. So, if the answer item number 4A is yes, you need to provide here information. You need. Next, ito. Multiple filer waiver request information. Refer to part 3, types of waivers. So, multiple filer. So, wala akong nakikita. Yep. So, skip natin yan. So, punta tayo sa biographic information. Ethnicity, if let's say the guy is white, so if the petitioner is white, let's say not Hispanic or Latino. If he's Hispanic or Latino, put it here. So the race is, let's say, white or whatever here. It's information to, it's about the petitioner, okay? If he's a native Hawaiian, American Indian, Black American, Asian, white, so you need to click one of it. So let's say his height is, let's say 6. Okay. 100. Oh. 190. So, yep. Eye color, let's say, ano ba maganda? Hazel or blue? Let's say hazel. Hair color, let's say, blonde. Kasi white siya. Okay. Next page. Page 9. Page 10. Oh, we're almost there. Yeah, I can read. Yan dapat yung lalagay nyo. Kasi petitioner, mahilig naman. Nag-English naman sila. So, next, petitioner contact number. Same pa din yan kung ano yung contact number. Tapos, let's say, ano nga yung pangalan niya? John Smith. Yep. Then, next, down here, up here. So, make sure, ito naman, signature ni petitioner at saka date kung kailan niya nag-sign. So, skip this interpreter, skip that one, preparers, skip that all. So, skip. So, yep, skip lang yan lahat. Kasi yun na naman, interpreter or preparer. Yan, skip lang din yan. So, let's hear. So, ito, ilalagay mo yan dito, yung name ng ito yung gagawin natin. Okay. Kasi hindi siya masulatan. Smith. Another one. John. Tapos, pa. Thank you. Yan. Tapos, ito yung, kung ano pa may, ano pa kayo, may ilalagay pa dito. So, maglagay kayo kung anong gusto nyo ilalagay. Baka, another work, ganun. Ilagay nyo dyan. Pero kung wala naman, so, yan na lang ang ating ilalagay. Okay? So, yep, that's it. And just another reminder, this process ay matagal, pero mas matagal yung spousal visa. Kaya, hang on lang kayo, be patient lang sa process nito, at just stay in love, stay strong sa relationship ng ganito, tsaka after na mag-send na kayo ng packet or nitong application, keep the fire to each other na. To know still each other. Tsaka, enjoy lang. Focus lang kayo sa inyong dalawa na fiancé at beneficiary. Sa inyong, focus lang kayo talaga sa relasyong ito kasi sa relasyon nyo. Kasi pag-iisipin nyo, bakit ang tagal, may stress kayo sa process. No? So, sa another video naman, isi-separate natin yung kung paano mag-fill out ng 1 to 9F. Tapos, yung sa next ay yung medical, or anong next step. Pag after nag-send na ng packet, syempre may approval yun, anong matatanggap. Ano pa yung afternoon NVC. Tapos afternoon, case ready na ready na kayong ready na mag-book ng medical sa St. Luke's, and then magbayad ng visa fee, and then to a point na go to sa US Embassy na website paano mag-book ng interview, what are the still needs na mga gagawin, ano pang i-fill out. Medyo marami pa tayong gagawin doon. Yung journey ng K1 process. At saka, itutulungan din kayo, i-share ko din yung journey ko sa process na to na nag-hit ng COVID, no, ng pandemic. Mahirap siya, matagal naming pinag-antayon. Syempre, I will relate also na kung ano yung mga possible questions sa interview, anong preparation, after ng interview, anong gagawin, no, kung ano pa yung mga gagawin sa process na to hanggang makarating kayo sa US. At anong process din pag nasa airport, ano yung process ng pag sa immigration, anong gagawin dito within 3 months, na before mag-end ng 3 months, ganun, marami pa tayo i-share sa inyo. Ako'y nagagalak, ang puso ko'y nagagalak na ako'y na mag-share sa inyo sa mga sa aking journey din. No? I hope na kayo ay matutulungan din ko kayo. So, thank you for watching, and please come back and learn with me along this journey of K1 visa and a lot of more about my life and also about the journey God's given to us in this world. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and of course share this video to help other people also na kailangan ng guidance sa K1 visa. And then please click the notification bell. So that's for now. Bye bye. God bless. Love you guys.